have about 3 coffees pumping through my veins right now, so I hope when I start sweating, which I already am, that you can't see it through the shirt. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in to another Rina K YouTube video. So today I am going to be stamping with a brand new stamp set called Love and Kindness. It is a collaboration with Jennifer McGuire and Gina K, our 2 resident crafting queens. And this will be raising money for hurricane relief in the Bahamas. 100% of the net profits for this stamp set will be going to Global Empowerment Mission, which is an organization that it helps a lot down there. And if you want to find out more about it, you can read about it on Gina K's blog. But I'm going to be making a card with it and my ocean-minded stamp set, just so it's all on theme. And we're gonna do some embossing and some neon inking and maybe using some of Simon Hurley's inks. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Here are the products that we're going to be using today. This is the Love and Kindness stamp set. It has a lot of pretty greetings, a lot of tropical flowers and plants and a butterfly, so there's a lot you can do with that, especially with the neon inks, which is what we're going to be using on them, if you couldn't tell. And then we're going to be using my ocean-minded stamp set to make a little wave coming in on the side. And for that, we're going to be using the Versamark and Fine Detail White Embossing Powder. And then to make the beach pattern, I'm going to be using Gur, which is one of Simon Hurley's inks that I used on one of our other videos to make sand. And it's really good, and I already have a brush that has been stained with it, so we're going to use that. This stamp set also comes with die cuts. Mine is in a bag that I used to pick up Mishi's poopies, but we lost the real bag, so that's why we're using. This is not in use for Mishi, only for dies, I promise, but that's why they're in there. So yeah, let's just get started with stamping the flowers. So to start off, we're going to use our Misty stamping tool to line up all the flowers. And this flower comes with this like pointy alien unicorn point. So we're gonna use that and try to line it up, and hopefully I can fit it on the die. I stamped the flowers before and I did not put the little horn on, so they looked a little weird, and when I die cut them out I realized that that's what they were for. I didn't really know what these were for. I thought they were just like little things. And we're going to be using these leaves and then this big palm kind of branch thing. So we're going to start off with Poppin' Pink for this flower. I'm going to do them one at a time because I want to take my time with this. Next, we'll use Orange Glow on this flower. Here we go. And then I'm going to be using Screamin' Green on these pieces up here. Now for these ones, I don't like to use Hulk strength to press the image down because there are little like veins and stuff in the image, so you just kind of want to not press down with all your might. But those are those images, and then I'm going to stamp 2 more leaves in Loud Lime and the purple flower. So these are going to be Loud Lime, and then this flower down here, our third one, is going to be Potent Purple. Oops. Wait. Almost made a critical mistake there. This is unorthodox to stamp like this, but boo. We're gonna use a new piece of paper because I did not work out the logistics of the die cutting. So let's forget all that. And now we are going to carefully die cut all of these out. And I recently picked up a tip that I saw my friend Simon Hurley do sitting right here, which is where he used little pieces of purple tape. There's a hair in my mouth. Little pieces of purple tape to keep the dies where you want them to be. And I feel like I've done that before, but I probably did it wrong. So after seeing Simon do it, it made it a lot easier. I feel like most of my videos now are just gonna be copying techniques that I stole from Simon while we were filming together. Open up my poop bag of dies. Shh. 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 That doesn't support hurricane relief. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, I forgot to put the horns on there after just talking about them and complaining about them for a few minutes. But we are just going to use an acrylic block to line them up, and now I really know where to put them because I wasn't really confident in myself placing them before. So now we can cut out these ones, and then I'll show you the images when they're cut out. This tape is so much easier than laying it down and having to vampire it into the cutter, because I always just set it down and immediately like shifts a million times. Or the worst is when you start to put it through and then you think it's fine and then the plates adjust and then it moves off to the side. Yeah, had a few times where that's happened to me. Okay, that one was spot on. And here are our die cut images. Now, if you look close enough, they're not perfect, but I've never been dishonest about my lack of stamping ability on the show. So we are just going to layer these leaves, and then I need to stamp the little horns on these flowers. The stamp moved the die. Okay, it's fine. Ow. So here is a little closer look at our images. As you can see, they're super pretty, super fun, and super bright. And now we are going to make the background of the card, and then we'll start placing them. So for now, they can just, Alicia, I'm gonna need you to come pick those up. So we're just gonna take a scrap piece of paper and use a little bit of adhesive to seal the piece of paper on. All right, so we are going to be using Simon Hurley and Ranger's ink pad color in Gur. And this is going to be the beach part. And I'm using the Picket Fence Studio blender brushes. And we're just going to build the color up this way. And as you get closer to where you want the shoreline, you can kind of lighten up your grip. I think I'm gonna make mine coming in on the angle like that. So that is our sandy background, and now I'm going to be using Blaring Blue and another blending brush to make the water. And remember, you don't need to blend them that much into each other, because if you want it to look like a more natural shoreline, it should get a little bit lighter. And then there is a lot of like lines on the wave stamp, so it's gonna cover a decent amount. So that's where we're gonna stop with our blending, and now I'm going to take my Ocean Minded stamp set and this big piece once again, and I'm gonna be using my Misty because I find that there's so much detail in this stamp that sometimes it's hard and you have to stamp it more than once. So if you're using this stamp with the Misty, I recommend lining up your card and taking note of where it is on the ruler. So I'm lining mine up with the 6 right here, because I want it to stamp in the right spot every time in case it moves, and I want to be able to restamp this if I have to. Don't want to miss out on any beach lines. I'll just pick that up lightly because I don't want to move the paper too much. And now I'm going to take my trusty dust bag and really get it on there. And then I'm going to take my Versamark and just really be generous with the ink here. What's nice about the dust bag is you can see where you stamped the Versamark, so I should get a good idea of how much of the stamp transferred. So now I'm just dumping my fine detail white on here, and I'm gonna use the whole container just because this is a large image. Oh, it turned out pretty nice. I know it still doesn't look like that much, but now I will emboss it and you can see the wave come to life. Alrighty, and there is our ocean wave embossed. And make sure you use a heavier base cardstock, because if you use a thinner one with this big of an embossing piece, it can kind of warp it, so just make sure you're planning ahead. So now I'm going to lay out how I want my flowers to look, because when I first tested this card, I did not. I put all the foam squares on, took off the backs, and then tried to plan where I wanted to place them, so I'm not gonna do that this time. All right, planning over. I'm gonna start sticking, no going back. So I'm gonna put these leaves kind of overlapping each other, like I have on the card. And I'm just gonna have them kind of going off the side. Doesn't really have to stay in the borders of the card. You can break the rules. Okay, so those will be like that. And then this one, I have no idea what to do with this one. I think I'm just gonna stick it behind there like that and just hope that it looks good. You know what, I'll do that one last because I am a woman of planning. So now we're gonna take our Gina K and Thermoweb foam squares and just stick one onto the back of each of these. I saw in my last couple of videos that people have commented that there's been a foam square stuck to my elbow at the end of every video, and I didn't notice that before, so thank you for pointing that out. It made me laugh very hard. Super cute. So now we're gonna stamp the greeting right here, and that is a part of the Love and Kindness stamp set as well, and then I'll show you the finished mounted card. And also, one more thing that we're gonna do, I'm gonna create a border edge, but I don't really wanna use black because black is kind of dark and doesn't really go with this. So I'm gonna just take the same blender brush that I was using and make a blaring blue background and then layer that on top. So I'll show you what that looks like when it's all done. So I just wanted to show you guys, this is the layering sheet that I made. And underneath, it is not finished because your girl doesn't have that kind of time. But if I didn't show you that, you wouldn't know. And there is the finished card. Super bright, super fun, and yeah, it really pops. I really love how that looks. I think I'm gonna do one more thing though, but I won't be able to touch the card after this because I'll have to let it dry. Last thing I'm doing is taking some crystalline drops or Nuvo drops, and I'm just gonna make some little dots on the flowers here. It's just the hardest thing not to touch them. Just have to wait like overnight. You just have to deal with it. Okay, so that is the finished card. Let me move all this out of the way. Make it look like I have my life together. There it is. Super pretty. So that is the finished card. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you want to know more about the cause or the situation down in the Bahamas, check out my mom's blog. And there's more information about the organization and what's going on with that. And as I mentioned before, if you buy the stamp set, all the net profits will go directly to the victims and people in need of help and aid in the Bahamas. On a lighter note, for my last video's giveaway, I asked you guys when your birthdays were, and the winners are right here. So if you see your name here, remember to submit I won the Rina K giveaway to info@ginakdesigns.com. We will send you your gift certificates right away. But I'm gonna go. Remember to check out all the links. I have them all in my description. And thank you guys for helping and watching. I really appreciate you guys. And I'm very excited to see what you guys can make with this stamp set. So thank you. Okay, bye.